Welcome to our deep dive into the chilling legend of La Llorona, the infamous weeping woman of Mexican folklore. Join us as we unravel the haunting tale of a scorned lover condemned to roam the earth in search of her lost children. From her eerie origins to spine-tingling sightings reported to this day, prepare to delve into the dark depths of this enigmatic witch's story. Brace yourselves for a journey through history, myth, and the terrifying specter of La Llorona. La Llorona. The origins of La Llorona are deeply intertwined with Mexican history, blending indigenous beliefs with Spanish colonial influences. While her exact origins are debated, scholars trace her roots to pre-Columbian times, where indigenous cultures revered water deities and spirits associated with rivers and lakes. The Spanish conquest of Mexico introduced Catholicism, which overlaid existing beliefs with new narratives of sin, punishment, and redemption. One theory posits that La Llorona emerged as a cautionary tale during the Spanish colonization of Mexico in the 16th century. The story reflects the anxieties of indigenous women who faced displacement, violence, and the loss of their children due to colonization and forced conversion to Christianity. La Llorona symbolizes the anguish of indigenous mothers separated from their offspring either through death or abduction by Spanish conquistadors. Another interpretation links La Llorona to the Aztec goddess Cihuacotl, who was associated with childbirth, fertility, and death. Cihuacotl was depicted as a weeping woman, mourning the fate of her children sacrificed in the name of the gods. Over time, Cihuacotl's image merged with Spanish folklore, giving rise to the legend of La Llorona as a vengeful spirit condemned to wander the earth. The legend of La Llorona. The legend of La Llorona has been passed down through generations via oral tradition, with numerous variations found across Mexico and Latin America. While the details may vary, the core narrative remains consistent. La Llorona was once a beautiful young woman named Maria, who lived in a rural village with her two beloved sons. Despite her radiant beauty, Maria's heart was consumed by jealousy and vanity. One day, a wealthy nobleman passed through the village and became enamored with Maria's beauty. He showered her with gifts and promised her a life of luxury if she became his mistress. Tempted by the prospect of wealth and status, Maria abandoned her children and accepted the nobleman's proposal. However, as time passed, the nobleman grew tired of Maria and spurned her for a younger woman. Consumed by rage and despair, Maria returned to her village, hoping to reunite with her children. But it was too late. Her sons had drowned in the nearby river, either by accident or at her own hands. Overwhelmed by guilt and grief, Maria roamed the riverbanks, searching for her lost children and wailing in sorrow. Her anguished cries earned her the name La Llorona, the weeping woman. Some versions of the tale depict La Llorona as a malevolent spirit who kidnaps children, mistaking them for her own. Others portray her as a tragic figure doomed to eternal sorrow, unable to find peace until she is reunited with her children in the afterlife. The evolution of La Llorona. As Mexican society evolved, so too did the legend of La Llorona, adapting to reflect changing cultural norms and societal anxieties. In the 20th century, La Llorona experienced a resurgence in popularity thanks to the rise of mass media, including literature, film, and music. Writers and filmmakers embraced La Llorona as a symbol of Mexican identity and explored themes of maternal sacrifice, female empowerment, and the consequences of colonialism. One of the most famous literary depictions of La Llorona is found in the works of Mexican writer and Nobel laureate, Octavio Paz. In his seminal essay, The Labyrinth of Solitude, Paz analyzes La Llorona as a metaphor for Mexico's complex relationship with its indigenous heritage and Spanish colonial past. He argues that La Llorona embodies Mexico's collective trauma and unresolved grief, serving as a haunting reminder of the nation's tumultuous history. In addition to literature, La Llorona has been a recurring motif in Mexican cinema, appearing in numerous films spanning various genres, from horror to drama. One of the most influential adaptations is the 1960 film La Llorona, directed by Ramon Peon, which introduced the legend to a global audience. Subsequent films, such as The Curse of La Llorona, 2019, have continued to reinterpret the tale for contemporary audiences, blending elements of horror with themes of maternal love and redemption. Cultural significance of La Llorona. La Llorona holds a special place in Mexican culture as a symbol of resilience, defiance, and the enduring power of storytelling. Her legend serves as a cautionary tale against vanity, betrayal, and the consequences of forsaking one's family for personal gain. La Llorona also embodies the complex interplay between indigenous and European influences in Mexican identity, highlighting the enduring legacy of colonization and cultural syncretism. Beyond Mexico, La Llorona has become a global icon of folklore, captivating audiences around the world with her tragic tale. Her story resonates with universal themes of loss, guilt, and the search for redemption, transcending cultural boundaries and inspiring artists, writers, and filmmakers across generations. Whether viewed as a malevolent spirit or a sympathetic figure, La Llorona continues to fascinate and unsettle audiences with her haunting presence. One theory suggests that La Llorona's roots can be traced back to pre-Columbian Mesoamerican mythology, where she may have been associated with water deities or spirits. Water has long held a significant place in the beliefs and rituals of indigenous peoples, symbolizing life, purification, and transformation. La Llorona's connection to water is a central aspect of her legend, as she is often depicted haunting rivers, lakes, and other bodies of water. Another theory links La Llorona to Spanish colonialism and the blending of indigenous and European folklore in the Americas. The image of a grieving woman searching for her lost children has parallels in European ghost stories and ballads, suggesting that La Llorona may have emerged as a fusion of indigenous and European cultural motifs. The fusion of these diverse influences has contributed to the richness and complexity of La Llorona's legend, allowing her story to resonate across different cultures and generations. The legend of La Llorona. While variations of La Llorona's legend exist, the core narrative remains consistent across different retellings. La Llorona is often portrayed as a beautiful woman, either of indigenous or mestizo descent, who suffers a great tragedy that drives her to madness. The most common version of her story centers around her role as a mother who, consumed by jealousy or rage, commits a heinous act against her own children. According to legend, La Llorona was once a loving mother who lived in a rural village in Mexico. Her beauty was said to be unparalleled, and she captured the hearts of many suitors. However, she fell in love with a wealthy nobleman who spurned her affections when he discovered that she had children. Desperate to win his favor, La Llorona drowned her children in a fit of madness, hoping to remove the obstacles that stood between her and her beloved. Upon realizing the enormity of her crime, La Llorona was consumed by grief and remorse. She wandered the banks of the river, wailing inconsolably for her lost children. Some versions of the legend depict her as cursed to wander the earth for eternity, searching in vain for the souls of her murdered offspring. Others suggest that she was condemned to haunt bodies of water, forever tormented by the echoes of her own cries. La Llorona's legend serves as a cautionary tale, warning of the consequences of jealousy, obsession, and unchecked emotions. Her story resonates with themes of maternal love, betrayal, and redemption, inviting listeners to reflect on the fragility of human relationships and the power of remorse. Variations of La Llorona. While the core elements of La Llorona's legend remain consistent, there are numerous variations and adaptations of her story across different regions and cultures. In some versions, La Llorona is portrayed as a vengeful spirit who preys on unsuspecting children, luring them to their doom with her mournful cries. In others, she is depicted as a sympathetic figure, condemned to wander the earth until she finds redemption for her sins. One popular variation of La Llorona's legend places her in the context of Spanish colonialism and the oppression of indigenous peoples. In this version, La Llorona is portrayed as a victim of colonial violence, driven to madness by the loss of her children at the hands of conquistadors or other European invaders. Her haunting cries are said to echo the collective grief of indigenous communities, mourning the loss of their land, culture, and way of life. Another variation of La Llorona's legend draws parallels with other supernatural entities, such as banshees, sirens, or the White Lady of European folklore. In these versions, La Llorona is depicted as a mysterious and otherworldly figure, capable of luring unsuspecting victims to their doom with her haunting beauty and ethereal presence. The significance of La Llorona. La Llorona occupies a unique place in Mexican folklore, serving as both a cultural icon and a cautionary tale. Her legend has been passed down through generations, evolving and adapting to reflect changing social, political, and cultural contexts. Despite the passage of time, La Llorona continues to captivate the imaginations of people around the world, inspiring countless adaptations in literature, film, and other forms of popular culture. One reason for La Llorona's enduring significance is her role as a symbol of female suffering and resilience. As a mother driven to madness by the loss of her children, La Llorona embodies the pain and anguish experienced by women throughout history. Her story resonates with themes of maternal love, sacrifice, and the struggle for justice in a world plagued by violence and oppression. Additionally, La Llorona's legend serves as a powerful metaphor for the trauma of colonization and its lasting impact on indigenous communities. By depicting La Llorona as a victim of colonial violence, her legend highlights the enduring legacy of conquest and dispossession in the Americas. Her haunting cries are a reminder of the ongoing struggle for justice and reconciliation in a region marked by centuries of exploitation and injustice. Furthermore, La Llorona's legend reflects universal themes of guilt, redemption, and the search for meaning in the face of tragedy. Her story challenges listeners to confront the darker aspects of human nature, including jealousy, rage, and the destructive consequences of unchecked desire. By exploring the depths of La Llorona's sorrow, her legend invites empathy and compassion for those who have been marginalized and oppressed. As we conclude our exploration of the chilling legend of La Llorona, we invite you to reflect on the enduring power of folklore to captivate and haunt our imaginations. If you enjoyed this journey into the realm of myths and mysteries, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that delves into the supernatural and the unexplained. Until next time, may you tread cautiously by rivers at night, and remember, beware the weeping woman, for her lament still echoes through the ages. Thank you for joining us, and may you sleep peacefully, far from the wails of La Llorona.